Good morning, everyone. It's Stephen Whiteside here from the Uptrend.com with your morning market outlook for Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. In the pre-market this morning, we are seeing some selling in the NASDAQ, and we'll get to why that's going on in a couple of seconds. Commodities are mixed, with the energy sector higher while metals are lower on Tuesday morning. Now, we've got Asian markets down across the board, being led lower by Korea, which was down just under 5% on the day. That had a lot to do with the reaction to Samsung's earnings, which were positive, but it's buy the rumor, sell the news. So we are seeing South Korea trade down today. It was already on a sell signal. Of course, I'm not a big fan of trading overseas markets using North American ETFs because of the time delay, which usually causes a lot of gaps to show up on the chart. And so if you want to invest in overseas markets outside of the Americas, I would strongly urge using weekly charts. And here's what the weekly chart for South Korea looks like at the moment. Now, we do have semiconductors trading lower in North America. That's why the NASDAQ is trading lower this morning. So currently, the SMH ETF is trading down a little over 3% already on a sell signal. Now, looking at the VIX is still on a sell signal. That's supportive for higher stock prices. The VIX ETF still on sell signal, so no change there. Now, we saw money move back into Bitcoin and Ethereum on Monday, and then any of the related bull ETFs moved up on the day, while the bear ETFs were down on the day. Then we had CoinDesk crypto. It was up 3.9% on the day. We had money go back into Coinbase. Did not take out the previous day's high, but did close higher on the day. Inside day for Mara yesterday, and then Strategy moved up to the upper channel line but did not close above it. That would happen on Tuesday. If we closed above $102.60, that would give us a new daily buy signal. No change in the currency world. We've got the US dollar index dancing on the $100 level there. We've got the euro trading up to the upper channel line. We've got the Canadian dollar in the channel. No change in trend from Monday's trading activity. Looking at the bond market, we still have the 30-year bond on a sell signal. Bond yields still on a buy signal. If that trend continues, that might not be good for the stock market. Moving on to the TSX Most Actives from Monday's trading action. And when we look at the list, there's no trend changes here. We do have a handful of commodity stocks, and so this is rather unusual. It's mostly financials and telecom in the top of the most active list, but the most actively traded stock is, of course, a commodity-related stock, Canadian Natural Resources, stuck here at $56.25. If we start to break away, then $50 is our next target to the downside. TD Bank still on a buy signal here, still trying to deal and take out the 175 level. TC Energy bouncing off the top of the flypaper channel right now. We'll have to see if we get any more traction there, but we're still on a sell signal coming into Tuesday's trading action, trying to hold support at 93.75. If that breaks, our next target is 90.63. Looking at TELUS, no change there, still on a sell signal, of course, still trending lower. Enbridge still on a sell signal, no change there. BCE making a lower low on Monday, heading towards the bottom of our projected trading range, and 28.91 is the next target to the downside. Looking at Cenovus, holding 34.38. The next target to the downside, if that breaks, is 31.25. We've got the Bank of Nova Scotia still on a buy signal here, still trying to break out above 125. No change in trend for Manulife, still on a buy signal here, trying to break out above 59.38. Then looking at the Royal Banks, trying to break out above 296.88, and of course 300 is just above there, and I wouldn't be surprised if the market wanted to test the $300 level on the Royal Bank. Looking at the New York most actives, and a totally mixed picture from the Canadian market, of course. We've got aerospace defense up at the top, and that's SpaceX, and if you look at SpaceX, it's got two asterisks beside it. And if you look over in the first column, there's no number. So anytime there's two asterisks beside a symbol, that tells you it's got very little data. We can probably make one chart, and that's about it. And that is certainly true for SpaceX, where we just have a couple of weeks worth of data. So we're really not making much of a chart here, but we're going to let it roll out as time passes and just keep an eye on what's happening with SpaceX. What's happening right now? Not good. The people who bought at the open on the first day, they're not happy right now. So we've got some Unhappy SpaceX investors, mostly the retail public, of course, institutions that got in before the IPO are still very happy. American Airlines still on a buy signal, no change there, trying to break out above 1875. Nvidia is using 200 as resistance. Remember, before it was support, then we broke it, now it's resistance. 187.50 is our next target, and of course 212.50 is our target above, with an open gap to be dealt with if we start breaking out above 200. Then looking at TNT, looking very much like Canadian telecom stocks at the moment, trying to hold 2031. If that starts to break, then 1875 is our next target to the downside, with potential support at the $20 level. The low yesterday was $20.25. Looking at the weekly chart of AT&T, the next target to the downside is 1875. We're coming down towards not only a daily target, but a major weekly target as well. Open Door is our next chart, and we're currently on a buy signal here, and depending on who you are, you're looking at potential resistance here, that series of lower highs, and of course there's another group of people that'll just be watching the recent high to see if that acts as resistance, or if we can break out above it. That would be significant for this particular stock. Looking at Intel, still on a sell signal here coming into Monday's trading action. We're trading down 3 or 4% in the pre-market this morning. Then looking at Grab, no change, looking for a close below $3.57 on Tuesday to give us a sell signal. We're stuck here trying to break out above $3.91. Of course, $4 is just above that level. If we can take out yesterday's high, then $4.30 comes into play. Looking at SoFi, no change there. Then TeraWulf, still on a sell signal, no change for TeraWulf. No change for Ondas, still on a sell signal. And then Tesla traded down to the lower channel line for the past 2 days, looking for a close on Tuesday below $389.70 to give us a sell signal for Tesla. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like we are going to see some selling in the tech sector on Tuesday morning. Have a great day. Next time you'll hear my voice is on Wednesday morning.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.